Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson, and today we're talking about Donald Trump accepting the Republican nomination to be president of the United States. We're also talking about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. We're also going to talk about my viral tweet. That sent the Maga cult into a frenzy. And we have Memphis and Shelby County School Board member Stephanie Love in the building. Yeah. And we have State Representative candidate Dr. Talisa Franklin in the building. Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. We'll be right back. Hit that subscribe button. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. Man, I don't know what the hell Angelica is doing over here, but look like she's doing a side step. Right. Y'all, hey, look, welcome my lovely, lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Give it up for her.
I'm accepting that walking. He tried to be shady before you end up introducing me. He tried to blame me.
This is how you gonna come on to the show. This is how we're getting started. This is what we're doing.
Yep, today. That's what we're doing today.
DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak, scratch it up for a time.
High frequency. Bam, 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 bam.
That's right. DJ Kojak. Hey, this segment is brought to you by the official voter guide. We are excited. Make sure you get out and vote. I don't know if you can see that. Damn. Look at the positioning.
Can
you see?
We're going to blame that on somebody. We're going to blame that on
Angelica. Look. Okay, we'll make sure we position that in the right place. But for real talk, make sure you get out and vote. Make sure you go to theofficialvoterguide.com, download your official voter guide, take it in the booth with you. We are in early voting here in Memphis and Shelby County, and we got great people that are running for office. And we're going to talk to a couple of them later on in the show and, talk about some great stories. We are the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. We're excited about that. Yeah. We just had one of our clips to go over 1 million views, right?
Oh, man, that's big.
That is big, over 1 million views. So that would be considered viral, would it not, DJ Kojak?
Definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
so we are officially viral,
yes,
quote unquote. I'm throwing up the air quotes. We are officially viral. Hey, one of my tweets went viral too.
Oh Lord, yes, it did go viral. It did. It did.
Yeah, man. And it literally set the Trump Maga cult into a frenzy. They were a little mad at me.
A little mad. They big mad.
They big mad. You might need some security, brother.
Hey, real talk. I did get some threats. Well, maybe one or two. I couldn't even read all of the responses, right?
There was
so many responses. Yeah. And we're going to tell you what that tweet said here in just a second. But Angelica, your president, Donald Trump accepted
he is so shady.
He accepted the nomination to be the Republican nominee for president last night. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I did watch it, but the feedback said it wasn't really like an acceptance speech. It was more of like a rally. Am I saying that right? I'm saying like rally. Am I saying that right? Rally.
Rally, okay.
Rally. I'm saying rally.
Like a pep rally.
Yeah, more than acceptance speech.
Well, that's what these conventions are. That's what they are. They really are just pep rallies to excite, their base. And so that's really what that was.
But they said it was like the longest acceptance speech in history. They said modern history. 90 minutes.
Dang, 90 minutes
is that? 90 minutes long. 90-minute show.
Yeah, wow, that's a long time. All I know is Kirsten kept on waking me up, right? Yeah. Dad, you ain't even watching it, Dad. You over there asleep.
And she said, and was asleep.
Right, and then she said, and you snoring.
Wow.
Okay.
Right.
They said they were asleep the first 15 minutes. Eyes were watering because of his account of what happened to his attempted assassination.
Right.
And then after that, it kind of just went everywhere.
Oh, okay. So, Kojak, what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, Lord.
Well,
don't walk off on this, Lord, because
I fell asleep probably 2 minutes in.
That means he didn't watch it, y'all. He lying. Look at it. Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
Well, I did not watch it. I did not watch it. I caught bits and pieces of it. That's all.
So, Kojak, just tell us one thing that Trump said last night.
He said, make America great again.
He guaranteed to say that, not the smoke, really. He guaranteed to say that. I thought Parkinson said he's my president because I said he was genius for bringing, now I would say genius because he going to clip me for calling Trump genius, okay? It was a great idea to bring the Hulk out because even though he said it was cheesy, but it was his audience ate it up. So maybe you got a cheesy audience.
Apparently, you ate it up. Maybe you're part of the audience.
No, it's because I always
talking about it now.
Even if
That was dope.
because I do PR. Even though if I don't agree, I think about who the target is and did they execute it right. I'm not the target audience because, of course, I don't care about Hulk.
It's okay, Angela. You can tell us you're a Hulkamania fan.
I am not.
You like it when he ripped his shirt off and showed that good Florida skin.
I was gonna say something, but you're not gonna set me up. But I mean, hey, leave me alone. At least I watched it. He didn't even watch it or anything. Yeah. Kojak.
Kojak. So Kojak, are you part of the Maga cult?
Definitely not. You see my hat.
Oh, okay. You're part of the Antonio Parkinson Project cult.
The cult. We in a cult too.
Right. So Trump, of course, this which is it's incredibly interesting timing. Mm-hmm. There was an assassination attempt, right? And which was 2 days before, almost to 2 days before, a few days before the convention. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're talking about some interesting timing, right? And go. Were you about to?
I was gonna say nothing.
And so
that's PR, right?
Well, yeah, you are PR.
He gonna put him on. It's PR, right? When I initially said,
why are you scared to speak your voice on it? Because you're scared of the MAGA folks?
No, I'm not scared of
the MAGA cult.
I'm only scared of Jesus.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
No, when I initially saw it, which we were together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all were together.
Right, we were having dinner.
Yeah, before I knew about the person, the casualties behind it. I was like, yeah, this is a good little PR stuff. It's the timing was, like you said, the timing just seemed a little too right at the time.
Well, let's ask this question before we move forward. How many of y'all out there, those of you that are watching, thought that the assassination attempt was something staged or something that was set up for a political game? Just chime in chime in, let us know. Chime in on the comments, right? And so when I first heard about the assassination attempt, and let me say this first before we move forward. We take seriously, those the lives that was lost and those that were injured, in the events that took place in Pennsylvania. And so let me be clear on that, and I want to be emphatically clear on that. And now, when the events first took place, I got it. I found out about it via a text, and so I immediately turned on the television to see what was going on. Now, keep in mind, this is on the front end of everything happening, right? So all they were showing was the what looked like the assassination attempt in a video loop on CNN, and I said.
I can quote you.
You quote me then, Angelica.
I certainly hope this is not a stage act. But ... Roll eyes emoji.
Wow. So dramatic.
I've been waiting for that.
Right.
There it goes.
So let me repeat. She's been waiting all her life to do this.
Right.
So let me restate it. So, I said, I certainly hope this is not a staged act. And that's really the emphasis, the context of my tweet. And what I meant by that, and in all honesty, I hope they're not playing. I hope nobody's playing. I hope this is not somebody playing because it puts a lot of lives in danger, right? All of the people that were in attendance at this rally. Well, when Angelica was standing beside me when I sent that tweet out, and apparently it looks like Senator Marsha Blackburn and others retweeted it in a way and tried to put a spin on it. That I can't say they tried to put a spin on. They did put a spin on it. Yeah. And put a spin on it and said that I said that the assassination attempt was staged. Now, clearly, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that saying, I certainly hope this is not a staged act is not the same as this is a staged act.
Yeah. That's true.
So shout out to the MAGA cult, 2 million views of this tweet later.
2 million.
2 million and comments and, their favorite word is POS. You're a piece of shit. right?
I'm gonna put that behind your name in my address.
Right. But look, speaking of that, speaking of addresses, there were other people. Well, my colleague sitting in London, Lamar, she tweeted something. They didn't like it, so and she took hers down though. But I'm not taking anything down. So y'all, it'll be up there for y'all to enjoy and live with, right? And but and then there was one of my friends who was running for office. She said something, and then they doxed her, which meant that they put her address out there, and which all of our addresses are public. But when they dox you, they put it out there so people can take notice and start doing things right. And they started sending packages to her house and making threats and all of these things. So that's Tammy Sawyer. And so we want to make sure that, Tammy Sawyer's safety is still, kept in place. Here's the thing. That's ridiculous. Here's the thing. On our last show, we had Joey Solopek, and and one of the things that he kept on hitting on was harmony, right?
Yeah.
It's okay for us to have differences in opinion.
Yeah.
It's not okay for, those differences to become personal. And
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
and I did receive at least one threat that I know of, from an individual jumped in my inbox, making a
personal threat. He didn't put it out there. He didn't put it out there.
Yeah, but we take those seriously.
Yes.
What's interesting is this, here you're upset because I said I certainly hope that this assassination attempt is not a staged act, right? But then you turn around and you threaten me with violence.
Now you said a mouthful there.
Now, what does that say?
That's straightforward.
Right. What does that say about them? Now, here's what's also interesting, and I'm sure they're going to clip this part of the video, and run with it, but I'll clip it myself and run with it. So, is that the former President Donald Trump has been advocating for violence for the last few years, right? And I'm not saying that it's good that that there was an attempt on his life. Absolutely not. But you've been advocating violence, for the last few years.
And that's funny you mentioned that, because one of the big takeaways they were saying from last night was that he was big on unity, which that's usually not what he is known for. He was big on unity last night for some reason, but his tone changed later on. He ended up going back to his original self. What are you looking at?
That's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting because and who knows? Maybe the attempt on his life brought him closer to God. Yeah,
he did have a good opening prayer by somebody. They're saying that he's closer. Yeah, they're saying all those things.
Shoot, them rounds whizzing by your ear or by your head. You ever heard a round whiz by you?
No, thank the Lord, I have not heard.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you like what?
Yeah,
that could have been it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, I'll never hear.
Yeah, and somebody captured the picture of the round whizzing by. They slowed the frame down enough, and actually you can see it, and it's a legitimate picture. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, but we got to pray for our nation though.
Yeah,
we are in a divided nation,
very divided.
Where violence is not an issue. You look at all of the neo-Nazis and those racist organizations that are marching in Nashville, which seems like it's becoming a weekly occurrence now.
And so
there's a lot going on. But this MAGA cult, it's a cult.
God, he's killing me with the cult.
They seem like they are a cult.
Yeah.
They die hard.
Yeah,
right?
They die for it.
When I looked up and I saw all of the folks wearing the Band-Aid, the bandages on their ears at the convention. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Right. And I certainly,
it's not funny.
Maybe well, why are you over there laughing?
Because
but maybe, I hope that they have not replaced God with Donald Trump. Y'all quiet.
They're gonna say he He beat. I don't know. They might say he beat death. They might think he a god, and he's ready to die for the country. So
Any other time, Angelica, you preaching to us when we start talking about stuff like this.
Yeah.
You can't even get a word out of it.
there's so much. You come on now, Coach. Really,
Right.
there's a lot that I'm just thinking about. But as I said, it's a good. Everything PR is lining up. That's all I have to say. That's where I stand on it.
So was it staged or was it not?
I don't know. He thinks, according to his speech, because he said he's only going to talk about this one time because it's too dramatic. It's too much. This is one time he's going to talk about it, but I have a feeling he's going to talk about it again.
Or it
I want
could
to bank on it.
Or it could be, I don't want to answer any questions about it because y'all might actually find out what really happened.
Yeah, but he was descriptive. He
Might
said
say the wrong
he turned to look at the teleprompter,
Right.
and that's what it kind of whisked by him. He kind of touched, and there was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And he thanked the Secret Service, even though I know we discussed maybe the Secret Service wasn't really doing their job at that time.
And
He
we got to
thanked
talk
him.
about that in the next segment.
Yeah,
But look,
sorry.
we are going to talk about that, but we're also going to ask, what are 5 signs that you are involved in a cult? Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah.
Grab a backwood and roll up. Grab your cup and let pour up. They didn't want us round it first, but now they act like they know what. Hey, but they show love, yeah, we show out when we show up. I don't even do the liquor, that shit might make me throw up. But we turned up, this the after party. Shit grabbing on my body. White girl got a bottle in the club, and that going gnarly. Turned up in a wreck the party. We just brought out everybody. No, we got our have some fun. We at the after party.
Hey y'all, it's Michael Kaya and it's the Antonio Parkinson Project I'm on. They have fun around here. They got chicken and everything. If you really want to get the word, know what's going on in your neighborhood, in your community, in your blackness, you need to tune in to the Antonio Parkinson Project. And ain't even in the projects. Okay, so tune in. We love you. Keep God first.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You are watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. So y'all give it up for that. Let's give it up for that.
You know what number we at right now? Gotta put you on the spot.
No, not necessarily, but on which platform?
YouTube subscribers.
YouTube subscribers. We are we're at 4,500
Almost
plus.
at 5. Okay.
Yeah, we're almost at 5,000. So,
Yeah.
when we hit that 5,000 mark, we might celebrate again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my lovely, lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods. Y'all give it up for her.
Hey, y'all. Hey. See, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, DJ Kojak in the building. Scratch it up for him 4 times. Kojak.
He gonna get that part. He gonna get that part
Hey, he
right.
gonna
That
get that
one
part.
part, he gonna get that part.
Hey, Dr. Talisa Franklin in the building. Y'all give it up.
Can I say y'all right now? This shot right here is just clear and gorgeous.
You
Did
see
you
it.
hear
You
me?
see it.
Oh, wait a minute. Now that's
She glowing. She glowing.
no, I'm not. I'm gonna take. Ooh,
But let me ask you, did you hear that scratch?
I did.
Oh,
really good. She passed the test.
All he can do it is like,
Right.
Yeah. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard
He DJ Kojak.
He-
Oh, Lord. Okay, now see, now she done gassed you up now.
Yeah.
Come back down. Come back down.
Baby.
Come back down now.
ready to vote
Come back
right
down.
That is too funny, man. Too funny. Hey, look, so a couple things. First of all, Dr. Talisa Franklin, we are incredibly appreciative of you being on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We're truly happy to have you here.
I'm honored to be here, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, are you part of a cult by chance?
Jesus.
Jesus code.
Jesus, baby.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Well,
What you know about Jesus?
Yeah.
right? But all of them folks that are in the the Maga cult, they gonna be mad at me when they see what.
Supposed to pay, baby, like you supposed to. They gonna get you.
Maga cult, Maga cult, Maga cult.
We're gonna put a beat behind that.
Oh
That's
yeah,
gonna be the
yeah,
hook.
yeah. It's gonna get Kojak remix that.
I will remix
Right.
that.
Nah, we're gonna be waiting
But
forever for
what's
that.
interesting, what's interesting is, all of those folks that are part of the MAGA cult or the MAGA movement, they claim to be Christian too. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You didn't
yeah.
see that one coming, did you?
No.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's quiet now. Okay, y'all.
Oh. Sometimes, yeah.
Look. So, man, okay. Let me frame it another way, since that one made y'all a little uncomfortable.
I know.
Right.
I know.
So it is the evangelicals that are Trump's biggest supporters, right? And interestingly enough, with all of the, you know, the things that has happened with Angelica's president Trump.
Y'all gonna make him my Can he write me a check like he did for Amber Rose? Then and said y'all gonna put me.
Wow. You know, I'm just listen. I'm just messing with Angelica.
I know, but can you write me a check?
But let me make sure for the record, these folks don't think that you are, because I don't know who she's voting for. But with all
not Trump, I'll tell you that. But go ahead.
with all of the stuff that has happened with him, you know, the accusations, you know, the lawsuits, the convictions, you know, the evangelical groups, organizations, and they're probably gonna come for the show now. But they are steadfast behind him, right? And you know, and it was with all of the threats and all of the words and that I was called because of this tweets. These are all the quote unquote Christians.
I'm the worst one sometimes, unfortunately to say it.
Yeah. And so, you know, but it is sad and unfortunate that, you know, we're dealing with it, and God is watching.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know,
The eyes of the Lord is everywhere.
Man. You know,
I'm not present.
Yeah. You know, and it's interesting, you know, the direction that our country is going. But let me ask you this. So who y'all, let's ask this. And to the folks that are watching too, you know, give us 5 signs that you may be in a cult.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
To the folks that are watching too, you know, give us 5 signs that you may be in a cult.
You willing to die for the cause?
Oh, okay. You're willing to die for the cause. So that's everybody that's in the military too, though.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I mean, some things can be used for other things, but you willing to die for the cause, right or wrong?
Yeah.
I'm gonna add right or wrong on there.
Okay. And you eat and sleep the cause.
Okay. Yeah, it is your life, right?
That's nothing else matters but that.
Okay. DJ Kojak. 5 signs you may be in a cult.
That's a tough
I stand him right now.
When you isolate yourself away from your family, friends, everyone, and just hang out with that cult.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can't nobody talk to you. Can't reach them.
Yeah.
Like they were saying what R. Kelly did.
Yeah.
You know, they can't even get to his. Can't even get to his.
Okay, Coach, that was a good one. Okay, Coach,
Pick up 4 times, Coach. Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm nervous.
Well, hold on, y'all going.
It's all right, boo. It's all right. It's all right. You're doing your thing, bro.
Got a friend in here now.
You know, I would say one is, you know, when no matter what they say, how outlandish it may be, they are right.
It's okay.
And you're brainwashed by the message.
Yes.
Yeah. Did y'all follow that cult? Speaking of cults, did y'all follow that cult with the black dude that was from Atlanta? He just went to jail. And then, what was it called?
Rap, man, I can't remember the rap dude.
Yeah.
He's a rap dude?
He finna get 100 years or something like that.
Yeah. He had a lot going on. Yeah. Speaking of cult, you know, I wonder if Senator Tim Scott is still part of the Maga cult. You know, because he lost his black job.
Yeah,
you know, when Trump chose J.D. Vance as his running mate.
But I wonder he had no idea it was coming though. Like, can you be blindsided? I don't know. I'm not in the world, so I'm not asking naive. I'm just asking.
Now he may have been blindsided, but those of us that are really doing our black job.
Okay, promo. Okay, there we go.
See it? Shout out to the T Hub, our sponsor for this segment. But look, you know, he was over there. I mean, really giving it to Donald Trump. When I say giving it, I'm trying to be nice, y'all. Yeah, giving the goods to Donald Trump.
Yeah, right. Clean that up.
Right. Yeah, let me clean that up. And I mean, running up on stage, hugging them because we love you. Mr. President. Bruh.
He was extra with it.
I mean, you just browned it all up in your face, all up under your eyes and your cheeks. You know, you just got Trump ass all over your face.
Okay, so he was doing good. Right. Yeah, I was trying to help you. Okay.
And then you did not get the nod.
Right. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
How would one feel today after J.D. Vance got the nod for vice president?
Did we get a
up?
pan on his face when he announced it? I mean,
What you talking about? A Pyrex pan? What kind of pan?
He's talking about a response when he got to see that he didn't get it.
His face when they announced it.
You know, I don't know. Was he at the RNC? I don't know. I'm sure he was, right? But Angelica, you look like
we need to go interview him so he can tell us how he really feel about Trump. So now I'm sure he'll be happy to tell us how he really feels.
I think he's part of the cult, and I think he would still be.
You think he still will be?
He's probably team. He's still on the team.
Yeah,
I don't
think so.
What do you think the Hawk Tour girl would say about this? I'm just asking.
Oh,
okay.
look at him made it go.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
But let me.
He doesn't want to.
But let me ask this though. You know, so according to you know what the word is out there, Tim Scott threw his governor under the bus, who supported Tim Scott in order to support Donald Trump, and now Donald Trump turned and said, I'm giving somebody else your black job, right? Basically, J.D. Vance. And so
you shouldn't have to do that to get to the top. He had to learn a lesson the hard way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that
shouldn't do that. Anybody shouldn't do that.
Right. You absolutely should not. But that is absolutely
if
crazy.
I got in my mouth, it's Kojak. He bringing in Taco Bell in here. Sorry, Taco Bell. They are not a sponsor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is not.
Well,
Taco Bell is not a concert. She had to clean my face for me because Kojak, Kojak.
Right. So Dr. Talisa Franklin, let's bring these politics. Let's bring these politics back local. So
let's go.
Well, somewhat local. You are running for. Her name is Dr. Talisa Franklin, and she is running for state representative.
State representative, 96, baby.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Come on now.
District 96 in Tennessee.
Right. So you know, this is your first time, your first forge into politics, right?
It is.
Right.
It is.
I'm nervous for you.
Oh my God. I just, I think it is different for me because I've been already serving the community, and just going into this space is going to actually let me amplify my voice, I believe.
Right. Okay. And when you say amplify your voice, amplify it from what? You already told us you wasn't part of a cult. So what are we amplifying?
For the community,
Okay.
right? So many people in our communities, especially in District 96, it's such a diverse community, right? And so I always tell people we have three types of people in District 96. You have the wealthy, you have the middle class, and you have the poor, right?
Right.
And so somebody needs to be having the voice for the poor, somebody had the voice for the middle class, and somebody have the wealthy to give some balance. And that's one thing I know with what I've been doing over these last 30 years of serving in the community is amplifying voices, being a voice for many voiceless, and making sure everything is equitable. Because a lot of times we see things that's happening in our community, but it's not for everybody, right? And so we need to make sure everybody's at the table. Every person, every culture, everybody should be at the table. And so now with District 96 as a newly formed district, because we know this district was really recut up again, right? And so this district, in my opinion, it was cut up to fail, not knowing that a Talisa Franklin was going to run.
Hello, okay, you better come through.
She said
you better come through.
Preach it.
Yeah. But that's incredibly important. So let's just track a little bit.
Okay.
Your what you've been doing before. Let me preface this. So I'm fully supporting Dr. Talisa Franklin for State Representative District 96. Yeah. But let me tell you why. It's not because she's such a great politician. I don't even think she's a politician. I don't think she knows what the hell she's doing, to be honest with you. She's not a politician. So when I say that, I mean not a politician.
That's a good thing.
Type, right.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
She is a servant, right? And she's been serving our community for many, many years.
30 years plus.
30 years plus.
30 years plus.
And we sit and look, what's interesting is I met her because she was doing this thing called Prom Show Expo or something. Yep. Excuse me.
You better get the boot.
Prom Show. Wow. Shade. She was doing the Prom Show Expo, and she was giving dresses to girls for the prom. We're at a hotel.
Yep. Holiday Inn.
On Mount Moriah. Yeah. When was that though? How many years ago?
God, Lord, that had to be probably right at 30 years, Touche. Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because I saw a need, and that same thing I feel now. that many children that look like myself, they were not going to college because they never had nobody in their family teaching, right?
Right.
And so I said, what's a twist I can get them to know about college and higher ed? And it was like, okay, let's make something fun. So that's how the Prom Show Expo
Wow.
came about.
Yeah.
So it was like, only way that you could win the ultimate prom package, right, was with the limo, the dress, the tux. You had to go by every table, every vendor. Every vendor was a college or high.
Oh, man,
so
that's
there
close,
was
man.
a twist to getting it to the people, right? And so from there, it just kind of became a movement that all the different schools and all the different children felt value. Before I know it, I had children everywhere. Now I sit back now and look at these children. They're very great in society. They have degrees, they have families. And so now it makes me say, man, my work, the seeds that I planted, when many people thought, they was like, why would you be doing a Prom Show Expo? Because you tell children that look like myself that never knew what college was, you're going to go to a college and career fair. I'm not going to nothing like that. That don't make good sense, right?
That's a marketing. You have a marketing background, though.
Absolutely.
You're listening that. That's the important piece that you listen to. So, you have a marketing background.
That was an incredible
That's smart.
strategy.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And, you know, and then you started, you know, doing the Juneteenth celebration before Juneteenth was a thing.
I was we was doing Juneteenth
Right.
what was cool and before it was a hashtag.
Okay.
We understood what and Juneteenth, for the side note, it's the oldest known celebration for the ending of slavery. It was in June 19th. 1865, that the slaves got the notice that all slaves were free.
Yeah.
And it's
The
very
slaves in
important.
Galveston.
In Galveston, Texas.
Right. The slaves in Galveston, Texas. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They was like, what?
Yeah.
We've been out here.
So I always say they was walking with the slave master to the courthouse to hear what General Gordon Granger was going to read about the Emancipation of Proclamation. But then when they went back, they went as an employer and employee. So now the slave master couldn't keep calling them a slave. You had to call them an employee and pay them the wages to come back and work on them dang on fields.
Yeah, but sometimes them wages was just a place to live.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
Trying to
still,
check right
They
Right.
still wanted to be.
Right.
Was
Yeah.
find
But
themselves
believe it or
doing
not,
stuff.
y'all, we still got people that's enslaved in their mind right
Yeah,
now.
we
Yeah.
sure know what to say.
You know?
We still got people,
Still got
believe it or
them
not,
tied.
still got people in Mississippi that are still basically sharecropping.
Exactly.
Still today,
Yep.
today, you know, that landowner allowing them to live on that land, and you know, it's still happening.
Have you guys seen that movie with Keke Palmer with the slave? Have y'all seen it like Jackie or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, have you seen it?
don't
Okay,
know.
go
They got the
watch it. The
farm,
whole point
they got
is
the horses.
she's at a plantation essentially, and she doesn't know it's like the 70s or 80s that people are free.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Go
Yeah,
look at it, and then she crossed over. She's like, yeah, she thought it was current
She
time.
wasn't going
yeah.
back in time.
They were just didn't realize they were free. It was
Right.
it's just she went for some reason, and she was like,
I have
"What?"
to watch
But
that.
yeah, please
Yeah, they
watch
ran.
it. But go ahead.
It's a great movie.
Show gave him a great plug.
I did. You give a lot of books plugs on here. Okay,
I do.
yeah.
I do. So what is some, Dr. Talisa Franklin? You know, you're in your first campaign. What are some of the surprises that you're seeing in while you're out here campaigning? What's surprising you the most about this?
The distrust of people. The same people that you helped, and they said they had so much love for the community and they wanted this community thrive and go to that next level. But I then figured out it was never about the community, it was about themselves.
Yeah. And I always tell people, you know, when you're in politics, it's the best filtering agent ever, man, because it will definitely separate the people that say they are your friends versus those that are truly your friends and supporters.
Right.
Yeah. Man, you know, it's sad and unfortunate, but man, you ask some of your friends who you thought were your friends, who you've helped, man, you ask them for a dime, you think you set their grandmother on fire.
You say on fire.
Right, just asking them to
a blazing fire.
A blazing fire.
Can I say this too? Though? When I've talked to Parkinson about this. A lot of people take these positions, they run, they make all these promises, and then and this is maybe for the distrust. I don't know what happened in the situation because whatever situation, but they say they're going to do a lot of things they're going to deliver, and they ain't no deliverables. That can be the distrust that just may be already set before you're coming. You're going to obviously change that once you take this seat. But I know that personally. I tell Parkinson, I'm like, now they said they're going to do X, Y, Z. I ain't heard from them folks since I got my vote. So that's just something.
Now.
Okay.
When you say, You haven't heard from that person. Did you reach out to them?
I do. I do. I do.
Yeah, make them accountable. So one
I
thing
make them accountable.
one thing I always say, I'm not like the others, right?
hold on.
Even my opponents, right? Let's just be very clear. I have 4 opponents in an open seat. They all have ran races, not one time, not 2 times, not 3 times, over and over again. But my question is to them, when you lost, why do you come back and serve? I'm not them
heard
folks,
that.
right? I've been serving before I ask folks for their vote.
Come
Because
now.
it's not about the vote, because I don't need the job. Many people that go into this, they need a job, right? I want the job to serve the community. That's a whole big difference.
You make me want to give it to you right now.
You
I
hear me?
give it to you. I bring it
And
over.
I'm
Yeah.
for real about it.
Yeah.
I want the job to represent the people. I don't need the job. Some people only go in this because they don't failed at everything else.
Yeah.
They said, well, I may go in politics. No, if you're not going in to serve the people, then what the heck is you doing?
And
Or
not
for
just
the
that-
limelight,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Not just that, but what's your track record of service before
Yeah,
you stuck
that's
your
true.
hand out saying, "Hey, can I get your vote?"
Yeah,
That's true.
Right, and that's how we choose our leadership from this part of the city and the north part of the city, north part of Memphis. Is we want people that have served already. Don't show your ass up here asking our people for a vote, and they ain't never seen you in their
Don't
community
even know
doing
you.
work. Don't even know you. Never seen you in the community doing work. Never seen you out here plowing these fields.
Yeah.
You know, but all I can go down the list. You know, School Board Commissioner Stephanie Love, who we got coming up in the next segment.
Awesome.
Charlie Caswell,
Yeah.
Rhonda Logan,
Yeah.
Michael and Easter Thomas,
Yeah.
and next to Lisa Franklin.
Yeah.
And myself, of
Yeah.
course. You know, we all plowed the ground first
Yeah.
before we even thought about running for office. She's been plowing the ground for 30 years. Over 30 years.
You know what? I by chance was talking to Miss Franklin over the phone. You remember that?
Yeah.
This a mutual person, and I could just say I'm attest to her personality. Was always nice, professional. Even before she even met me in person, she's like, "We should meet for lunch one day or whatever." For her to be able to invest time, because time is something you don't get back. That spoke volumes to me. We never met each other. Not one day, and was willing to invest in so into me, a stranger. So hey, that's why I go off, and I'm saying that I wasn't paid to say nothing. She
Right.
probably that's genuine.
But
You're a genuine person. So.
Let me ask you this before, because we're down to a minute and a half.
Okay.
What's your platform? Give us a quick and dirty of what you're running on. What's your platform? 'Cause
Your
people wanna
safety
know.
is number one, and we're the only candidate that is endorsed by the Memphis Police Association and the Afro-American Police Association,
All right.
so that we can do what we need to do. The second thing is, how do we put more money back into people's household?
Amen.
We got to
Clap
get
for
people
that.
back
Hold
where
on.
they get some money so they can
Yes,
feel like they're doing what
sir.
they need to do with their family. Third thing is education. In the state of Tennessee, we are investing the very least of educating our children in the state of Tennessee, and our teachers are underpaid. We must change that. And last and not least is having accessible health care. People should not make a decision whether they're going to pay their rent or go to the doctor. They should not make a decision whether they're going to take their medication or put food on the table. We need somebody that understands the needs of our community, that is bold enough to advocate for the needs of our community,
Yes.
and understands our community needs somebody that's for real, that's not just trying to get likes and this and that, but I'm trying to make a difference in the lives of the people in District 96 and the
All
state.
right. Shit, give it up.
You got me
Man,
turned up. I was
what?
tired, but you got me ready and live now.
Real quick, give them your website and how they can find you and follow you.
www.Talisa for Tennessee, Talisa for Tennessee, and I'm Talisa Franklin on all social media outlets.
All right, y'all give it up for Talisa Franklin from the Parkinson Project.
Thank y'all.
And we will be right back with I'm about to call, well, maybe she is a doctor. We'll be right back
Okay,
with School Board
Yeah,
Commissioner
I'll
Stephanie
take it.
Love. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yes.
Guessing to find you. I always in the mood. I told you, you always wanted something like this. Hold on to
Hey guys, what's up? It's Elise Neal. You are watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Stay tuned.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. I'm joined with my lovely, lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods, in the building.
Hey y'all.
Yep. DJ Kojak is in the building.
In
Scratch
the
it up 4
building.
times, DJ Kojak.
Stephanie.
Wow. Oh, speaking of, real quick, DJ Kojak, before we go to our guest, you got a grand opening happening, right?
Yes.
Man, look how
Oh, he
hold
knew
on.
that.
Did you see
I
how
thought he
lit
gonna
up?
say. I thought he gonna
Did
say
you see how
no.
he lit
For the
up?
people up there,
Right.
For the people right there. It's going down Sunday.
I seen it on Lee's page.
Hip Hop Lounge and Event Center, 5721 Raleigh LaGrange. Y'all come on out, man. Go to Eventbrite because the tickets ain't looking too good, and I got a lot of people out there that I know and I mess with. Y'all better get to
This is the most I done heard him talk the whole
Man,
time.
but not just that, but Kojak,
Support.
Just a little, let me give you some free.
And let me say this:
Go ahead, go
Touche was the first one to buy a booth, so I shout out to him.
I ain't the only one, though, am I?
You got
I
a
take
booth?
that clap. I'm just asking.
Hold on, he got a
It's gonna be
hold on,
somebody there.
Give me go backwards. He got a booth. Okay, I was gonna say he got a
paid for
booth.
the
Nobody
booth
told
with
me.
the bottle.
Booth
with the bottle.
Mountain Dew.
Don't put no
Will
water
you
in
be
that
serving
bottle.
Mountain Dew?
Right.
No,
but,
we popping
but
bottles.
DJ Coach, I'm gonna tell you something I learned, man. Here's some free shit from Black Market Strategy.
Okay, come on now.
Or
Give
should
it
I
to
send
him.
them in
Give it
invoice,
to him.
Angelica?
No, you give it to. Oh no, you need invoice. You need invoice.
Angelica, two things though.
Okay,
things.
tell me
One,
and put me on game.
he got two of the best in marketing and public relations.
Ooh, and
Right next to him. He did not tap into these
Didn't ask
resources.
us nothing. You know.
Come on now.
Right.
And
Now-
she'd have turned me down about 10 times.
You a lie, Kojak.
She
Really.
tried to charge me 50,000.
And in the
Well,
name
she
of
does
Jesus,
charge
one day,
it. Right.
Lord. Yes,
Yeah.
Lord. I received
But-
that. I ain't gonna argue about that. I
But
received
let me say this. Let me
Yeah,
say
go
this,
ahead.
and I
No,
implore you to
seriously.
do this. When the thing about our people,
your
is
cousins.
sometimes you literally have to get on that phone and pick up that phone and call them and say, "Hey, man, look, I need you to support so this thing can be big." Right? This thing needs to be big.
It needs to be.
Yeah, because you know, for the part of the market where you are, you know, you need to blow this up, and, it
And the
could be-
people you got coming, please.
Yeah. So that's some free, you know, and I make sure we take this part out of the show, you know.
Yeah,
but
man,
but
take
you
it
got a
out.
free
Exactly.
y'all witness him getting a free consultation from Black Market Strategies live, right? You know, we are also the sponsors of what is it? Men Who Eat? What
Men
is
who
it?
can cook
Oh, Men Who Can Cook.
or something
Yeah.
I
like that.
said Men Who Eat. Damn.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's about
Well,
same thing.
Well, that could have
Yeah.
went different.
And I'm not going that way with you. Okay,
right.
all right.
Right.
Men that can cook.
Okay.
It's the Memphis Urban League tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're all gonna be in the building, right?
I saw that. Yeah. We
Yeah,
gonna
sugar
be,
might
Are we all-
sugar might be with me, but we're
That's
gonna
right.
be
Are we
there.
all gonna be in the
Okay.
building?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at Kojak. And Kojak looks away.
I didn't know y'all
We'll be
missed
there.
Saturday. I thought
We
y'all
there.
meant
We there.
Saturday of the week of the hashtag Cook Convention.
I mean,
now.
So we've been spending a lot of weekends together now. Last
Too many.
weekend, Angelica, tell everybody about last weekend.
What we do last weekend? I'm nervous.
I mean Monday. I'm sorry.
Oh, you talking about our first live podcast?
Yeah, on location.
Fully packed.
And it
On
was a
location.
success.
No hiccups that I know of. So I don't know. Then they probably had some little mishaps. I don't know, but everything.
I didn't see any.
I know that's what I'm saying. Everything was streamless, like flawless. Went really well attended. Good vibes, good food. I had a good mocktail. I mean, there's nothing to complain. And my parents were there from Iowa, so hey, there's nothing to complain about.
Kojak mocktail. That's the only
I
thing I
did. Mm-hmm.
heard in that Kojak. Yeah. So shout out to Salt Bar and Bistro, 3101 Mendenhall.
Man, they
you know,
did that.
yeah, give it up for them, man. The service was great.
did
Black excellence in business.
Yes.
It was.
They
The
did
service was great. The food was great.
All the
you
food
know,
was good.
technically they took care of us. You know, the podcast went off without a hitch. Full house, packed house. Shout out to all the cosmetologists and barbers
Yeah.
that was
Shout
in the
out to
building
them.
too. Shout out to them.
And deep.
Yeah, for the state of cosmetology, and we also want to send a very big shout out to Roxana Camusio,
yes,
who is
so
the director of the Tennessee Board of Cosmetology and Barber Examiners, who was our special guest at the event.
Yeah, one bougie at all, man. Laid
no.
back.
Relatable,
We was just
nice,
kicking it with
yes.
her. Yeah.
Solid, good people,
Yeah.
good people, and you know we want the stylists, not just stylists, but those estheticians, lash techs, nail techs, barbers, you know, natural hair care stylists and braiders. We want y'all to know, you know, the Antonio Parkinson Project. We mess with y'all. We love y'all. Real talk. And so, you know, keep doing what you're doing, and you know, we're gonna move, you know, Tennessee to the forefront of the natural hair industry.
Yeah.
Right?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
You know, I've got a lot to say about our next guest.
Yes.
You know, so this is another one. I've been around her for a long time, right? I actually knew her before she knew herself, right? I'm just kidding, y'all.
She
I
probably tired of you.
actually did, honestly, you know, I was a firefighter for many years and, you know, retired from the fire department now, but back in them early days when I was on the fire department, I knew her when she lived in EA Harrell. And right, look at Kojak, here on projects in Millington, Tennessee, right? And she thought she was the it back then, right?
And
She
still
thinks she's
is,
the it
and
now,
still
right?
is.
And but I have
Still a hater.
right.
He is,
I
Mom.
have.
He is.
Let me tell you how important this person is to my life before I want to introduce her, right? Because we are so close. Our children were raised together, right? Our children, if I wasn't taking hers to school, she was taking mine to school, right? And that's how tight knit our political family and personal family is. And so I can't say anything more about her other than bringing her on for herself. Y'all give it up for School Board Commissioner Stephanie Love. Boy, look at that. Oh, she's so sweet. Look at that glow. Oh my God. I love baby talking her ass because she tried to be so hard, right? She tried to be so hard. But this woman, y'all, in a previous iteration of the Antonio Parkinson Project, she came on the show and she bared it all. Honestly, she bared it all. She told us a lot. She has, when I say she is one of the strongest women that I've ever encountered, ever. Yeah. And I'm not talking about just the recent events that she is not only surviving but beating, but I'm talking about even going back early in her life, when she dealt with other things that I'm gonna let her talk about. But she is a school board commissioner, duly elected by the people of District 3 in Memphis and Shelby County. And she's been elected for 10 years now. And again, earlier we talked about, sowing those, the service, right? Before you run for office. So I was first. She was next, right? And she was out there doing work in our community, making sure our kids had a safe place to play. And then she was elected to the school board. Give it up for School Board Commissioner Stephanie Love. So, Commissioner Love, don't come on here acting all shy and bougie now. Look, but tell us for you how it started. And step on up to that mic too. You act like you're scared. How's she gonna be scared on my show? She wasn't scared on Channel 3 yesterday. Right. Today, okay.
I never wanted politics. I was just being a mother, advocating for my community. And my pastor said, I had a dream that one day you were going to be over a whole bunch of kids. I laughed.
Why? Because you thought you was going to be having them?
I laughed. But then the position came up, and I talked to you, and I talked to several other people, and you told me to just do it.
Do you remember that? Because I remember it. I remember it. I don't even remember the position being open. I remember us being at, I don't know if it was Ed Rice, but we were at somewhere, and I was watching you work and doing community work, right? And I said, you need to run for office. And I don't remember if the position was open at that time.
No, it wasn't.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I said, you need to run for office. We need to run you for office. And it was the service, right? That service spirit, just like our previous guest, Dr. Talisa Franklin, those people that give for free, it's something different about a service spirit, right? And everybody don't have it.
It takes a different type of energy.
Right, yeah. And let me define this because this would be a good clip. We have T-shirts that say, I am not a politician. I am a servant that happened to get elected, right? Yeah. And the difference is this. I can't stand politicians because politicians to me are people that show up with their hand out asking you to either vote for them or asking you for something, and you've never ever seen them before in your life. They've never sold a seed into, they're leech-like to me. But that servant is somebody who will give of themselves freely simply because they want to see people's quality of life change for the better.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Stephanie, talk about
I remember when my youngest daughter, was going to Delano Head Start, and I saw a need on the parking lot. I volunteered every day for years and got the parking lot under control. 200 kids were in that Head Start, and 50 or 60 parking lots was what they needed. They only had 20.
Wow.
So you could imagine the daycare vans and the people coming in, and it was a monster.
Right.
But I saw the need, and I bought myself a yellow vest and cone.
I remember this story.
Yeah.
I remember this. I stayed right down the street.
Yeah.
And I contacted the Head Start director, and he came out there one time, 20 minutes, and I had a new parking lot on the agenda.
Wow. That's huge.
That's so big. No.
That's huge. And so, I want to talk just real, as quickly as you can. And take your time, I guess. The Denver Park.
I advocated for that along
And
with.
let me preface. Remember, this is before she was elected. She was not elected.
Right.
In any of these stories, she was not elected. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I advocated that with Deborah Lovelace. She was over it. I connected with her in the Fraser Neighborhood Council, and we got the park renovated, and the gang issue went away.
Wow. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah, that's huge. And that's the type of service and commitment to a community that we need. So a couple years ago, okay, you're elected now, and a couple years ago you had 2 strokes.
Yeah.
2 strokes. And I mean, think about that, y'all. Not one,
I can't imagine.
but 2 strokes. Walk us through that. What happened?
I was getting ready for work one Saturday morning. I was curling my hair, actually, and I fell on the floor. I didn't know what it was until I couldn't talk. I had my phone in my hand falling on the floor, but I couldn't dial 911, and 2 people were in the house. I called out for them, and nothing came out.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
And my whole left side was limp. And I stayed on the floor for 8 hours before
Yeah.
Jason came
Yeah.
to kick the door in.
Yeah. I remember, Jason called me, and he said, "Hey man, you need to get over here, because something's going on. Something's wrong with Stephanie. Something's going on with her." I said, "Well, what's going on?" He said, "She's on the floor in the bathroom and she can't move." Right? I said, so, I told him that sounded like a stroke.
Yeah.
Told him on the phone. So I got there. Jason was there. The paramedics, the fire department had just pulled up, and it's a sight to see. Being from the fire department, right, and seen it. Unfortunately, seen it many times, and when I don't know if you remember any of this, but
Yes.
do you remember it?
Yes.
And you have a person that's in the middle of a stroke, and they're trying to communicate, but nothing is coming out. And
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Did you not show up to work or something that made Jason come? Because what makes him come just to kick? I want to know.
Miska called Sonia, and Sonia called Pig, but my daughter was trying to get in touch with me all day. And my daughter called Pig. There is something wrong with my mama.
Yeah. Because she haven't heard from you.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So Pig is Tanya, and that's Jason's wife.
Okay, I was like, now who Pigs? I know another Pig. Too.
Right.
Pig.
And so, yeah, and it messed us all up that day, But here's what's interesting. So, before the stroke, she was incredibly energetic, and incredibly vocal.
Lose
Now
my
she's
voice
still
in my
vocal. She's
face.
incredibly vocal, right? With a couple of expletives in there, right? and so you've gone through speech therapy and everything. Tell us about your healing process because
Occupational therapy and speech therapy. I'm
Right.
still at it. Physical therapy, I did 6 weeks of it. And I was in the hospital for a month.
yeah,
I walked out of the hospital.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
My arm is still paralyzed,
Right.
but my feet can work.
right,
And I am left hand dominant. So I do everything with my right hand now.
Oh, wow.
right, yeah. So,
And I spent 2 months on mute. I couldn't even say hi.
right. Oh, I remember because we were drawing it on the on drawing things on the iPad and stuff like that, right?
That
to
itself
communicate.
just makes my anxiety rise, not to be able to speak or vocally express yourself.
Yeah. But Lord, when she started getting her voice back, oh my goodness,
She
when
made up for it.
Right. It's interesting because her dialect actually came back more proper.
Yeah.
You know, when she started speaking, and so her curse words are now more proper than they were before. Right, and so
You got that sting on there.
Yeah. And but all of this and still maintaining your position on Memphis and Shelby County School
Still
Board.
serving.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital in rehab, but I was still going about the business of my community. And I want to give a shout out to my community. They stood by me.
Yeah.
And all Vince McCaskill set up a suicide, and they did nothing but love me.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, and that's incredible. Y'all give it up for Vince McCaskill and School Seat.
That speaks to volume, the type of person you are, that they're willing to sow and give back to you. So that is so
My
good.
sister quit her job and took care of me, and she didn't let anyone take advantage of me. She was another hen, mother hen.
As a sister should do, please.
Yeah. Shout out to Trina. She did. I mean, when I say she was there, I mean there every step of the way. You know. So let me ask you this. You know, you back up for re-election.
Yeah.
Right. You know, it takes a special kind of person to decide to run against this woman after all she's been through and still and she was still serving. But what is the most pressing issue when it comes to education, as you see it?
Early literacy, parent and community engagement, and the safety of our children.
Yeah. I would say that's some of the most pressing also. But what you gonna do about it?
I'm going to work with my other board members to get the agendas passed. I can't do anything on my own.
Right.
And that's what the candidates fail to realize.
Yeah.
They write out the list of things they can do on their own. You have one vote, and it takes 5 votes to get anything passed.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Right. Yeah.
I am going to work with the new board and get these things passed. It took 5 years for us to get funding for a new high school in Fraser.
Right.
And it takes time and money.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that is one of your accomplishments, though, right?
Yeah.
You got a brand new state-of-the-art school that's going to be built in the Fraser community.
Yeah.
What's the budget? How much is it going to cost to build that school?
A lot.
181 million. Is it 181 million, if I'm not mistaken, or 161 million dollars, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money.
That's big. We
That's
talking
a lot
about
to
that.
But our kids need it.
Yes.
They deserve it.
They
In
do.
that new library, when the county mayor came,
Yeah.
we talked about the new library, the new
Yeah.
park. I'm excited for, okay? In the new school. That's big for the community.
That's huge because people a lot of times what people don't realize is that schools are centers or hubs for economic development for communities, and so that's going to be vitally important and way long overdue to have a school, a new school in the Fraser community.
When I was going through the data of Tresvant and Fraser High School. I saw the district take out programs after programs, and the kids left. Tresvant has 2,000 students zoned to their school.
Right.
The enrollment now is just over 6,000.
6,600.
600.
600. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of students. And Tresvant has a
That's why I graduated. That's why I want.
You know, an incredible alumni, you know,
Yeah.
involved and incredible story.
Dr. Rod Richmond came out of prison.
Rod Richmond, yeah. And you know, and it's sad and unfortunate that you know they've lost so much enrollment, you know, due to to whatever the but there's been a disinvestment
Yeah.
in in our schools. And I always ask people this too: how can you have a school like Collierville High School and still have a school that's in the shape of a Tresvant or a Fraser High School?
Because they don't care. Everybody talks about the students,
Right.
but when it's time to put money into the students, they're mute.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Put your money.
They don't feel as if my community deserves the same thing as a Collierville or a Germantown or a Millington.
Right. Yeah. And that's the reason why she is so important, to the school board because of things like that.
Yes.
You know.
I advocate daily and monthly. The only time I didn't talk was in the 2 months after I regained my speech hearing because I couldn't talk. And I have been talking ever since, advocating for my community.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all give it up for school board Commissioner Stephanie Love.
Look, somebody called my phone telling me to get out and vote, and I was like, "Listen, all right, I'm already voting for Stephanie Love." Well, okay, then that's all I need to know. I'm hanging up the line.
Oh, so you got that phone call? You got the
Yeah, I
phone call?
did.
Good,
I was like,
good.
you ain't got. I said, "Babe, I'm already." Oh, she was happy. Okay, well then you have a good night then. I was like,
I heard that.
Bye.
Hey, see,
I
it's
get
working,
it.
Michelle.
It is.
It's working.
He didn't pay me to say that, but they really did call my phone.
You know, but I do want to say publicly that Stephanie Love has my full and complete support, right? And I guess I'm part of the Stephanie Love cult, right?
cult.
Because I go hard for her, right? But Stephanie, we're gonna put your contact information up. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Vote for love. Everybody needs love.
There you go. Y'all give it up for Stephanie Love in the building. All right, so look, you've been watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. It's a great time to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, we will be back here next week, and we look forward to seeing each and every one. Am I getting that right, or am I jacking that up? All right, so hit that subscribe button.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Powered by Black Market Strategies.